The women's 400 meters world record 49.59 by Jarmila Kratok-Vilova, 51.77. Diane Dixon, the American record. And here's the way they'll line up. Michelle Felder from Howard in lane number 3. In lane 4, a senior from the University of Nebraska, Linetta Wilson. Lane 5, Rice University's Tanya Mcintosh. And in lane 6, Michelle Taylor of the University of Southern California.
There is Linetta Wilson, who set the collegiate record last year in February that has been confirmed. It has twice been broken, and there are 2 records that are pending, don't belong to her. Natasha Kaiser, who is in the competition in the second section of this. There you see Michelle Taylor on the outside. And Leslie Hardison has the record at 52.34 pending approval.
Tanya Mcintosh, in lane number 5, is a former national junior champion, and we're underway. Now, once again, these will be 2 heats, and they will determine the champion based on final times.
Bob, they will stay in lanes around the second turn, then they can break for the pole. That's Taylor moving out wide. She can't see the other runners. She's running very hard.
And now comes Linetta Wilson and Tanya Mcintosh. Excuse me, on the inside, Michelle Felder moving with Wilson, and we have got a race. They've got 1 lap to go.
Unofficially, 24.33 for the first 200 meters for the leader.
That is really smoking. We'll have to see who ties up among these 3 great athletes. Here comes Linetta Wilson up on the outside, passing Michelle Felder for the lead and doing it pretty handily. Now, Michelle Taylor wants to move up, and she'll take over second place. Off this turn, they have a stretch run. Linetta Wilson from the University of Nebraska leads.
She's an intermediate hurdler, very tough to catch in any stretch. She's got a lot of strength.
And Linetta Wilson takes it to the finish line, tying up just a little bit at the end, 52.75 unofficially, and she gets a hug from Michelle Taylor from Southern Cal. Great race.
Excellent time. She runs the intermediate hurdles outdoors. When an intermediate hurdler comes indoors, they frequently do some over-distance training, and they're very strong in the last quarter of any sprint race. Look at her take the lead. Very powerful upper body. Many of them do use weights. Look at her drive.
And Michelle Taylor using the slipstream to beat.
That's Linetta coming down the home stretch. Here comes Michelle Taylor around. There you see her get away well, staying in her lane. She'll have to run that for 2 total turns.
Now, a problem for the 400 runners throughout this meet. We had a lot of disqualifications because the runners were stepping on the line. It's a lot like tennis. The line is out, and look at the way Linetta Wilson puts her foot down just inches off of it.
One thing I should mention, if you have 1 false start in this competition, you are thrown out of it. And as you see, Howard University's Michelle Felder break for the pole first.
But Felder's lead will not last. Watch Linetta Wilson kick it into gear off this turn.
Bob, it is very hard in the 400 meters to win unless you're first or second coming in and getting the pole. And you notice she was in second. Generally, it's you rarely see someone 3rd, 4th, or 5th come from behind down a straightaway to win.
But Michelle Taylor from Southern Cal, the second girl there, had a great finish. If it had been a 500-meter run, she might have won. There is Linetta Wilson, your winner.
I asked her yesterday about her hair that you see right there that's all braided. I said, that's an important question. How long did that take? She said 3.5 hours. And look at all that good work there.
Oh, my. 4th in this event last year. Linetta Wilson must now wait to see what happens in the second heat. Here they are in lane 3. Mirian Knijn from Boston University. In lane 4 from the University of Missouri, Natasha Kaiser. In lane 5 from Murray State, Stephanie Saleem. And in lane 6, Teri Smith, a sophomore at Brown University from the Ivy League.
Knijn is also a quality high jumper from Holland, the young lady from Boston University who we first mentioned that is in lane 3. Natasha Kaiser is, I think, the odds-on favorite to win this particular heat. She is out in lane 4 getting settled right now down in her blocks there.
Linetta Wilson has posted the time to beat. The athletes have absolutely raved about the track facility here in Indianapolis. The same facility that was used 2 years ago for the World Championships is wide, it is fast. The straightaways are a little short, but the track is very resilient, built by an Italian company. It took 2 weeks to set up this racetrack, and they have fine-tuned it to a razor's edge. It is really quick.
You just saw Knijn from BU. There is Kaiser from the University of Missouri at Columbia, and she broke the collegiate record for 400 meters indoors this year, running 52 and 37/100ths of a second. She's had an excellent career there. She ran very well in high school also as a 200-meter runner who moved up.
Stephanie Saleem from Murray State taking off the T-shirt now as the athletes prepare for the second heat of the women's 400 meter. There you see Teri Smith from Brown University representing the Ivy League.
She won a silver medal last year representing the United States in the World Junior Championships. Very hard to be a 400-meter runner and a top high jumper. That young lady's cleared 6 feet 1.5 inches in the high jump. Very odd. It's like
a great pentathlete.
A miler dropping down to run the 220 or something. That's true. You're right.
You can bet that Mirian Knijn and Teri Smith have seen a lot of each other, both running out of New England.
This track is on plywood, and it is layered over with Mondo, a rubberized substance, much like you put down a layer of cheese over a hamburger. And it certainly allows you to move quickly. It's got great bounce, and the turns are equally distant as the straightaway, so they're very gradual and kind to you as you take them.
They're quite wide, Larry, which also confused me when we saw so many DQs in the qualies for the quarter. A lot of athletes stepping on the line, and in fact Texas got burned. They lost 2 athletes that they thought were going to be able to score points by stepping on the line and being disqualified in the qualifying.
Kaiser's dad right there was a former 100, 200, and 400-meter runner when he was in high school, and she said, I talked to him a lot about it. She said, I never got him out in the track, though. She's an art history and archaeology major.
You'll be seeing more second-generation athletes here in these NCAA championships as the evening goes on. Right now, the runners are being called to set. Knijn in lane 3, Kaiser in 4, Saleem in 5, Teri Smith in 6. And quickly, Saleem makes up the stagger on Teri Smith to the left of your screen. Kaiser coming on strong now as they enter the turn. Runners to the inside have the lesser radius to run, so as they come off the turn, you'll get a good idea of where they are as they break for the pole.
Kaiser in the lead. Stephanie Saleem from Neptune, New Jersey, a great high school runner, is in second place now.
24:20 unofficially at the 200. Another very fast first 200 among the women.
Notice the arm swing, you youngsters out there. Good, powerful use of her arms by Kaiser. The same for Saleem. Pump those arms, they'll help you. Look at her begin to pull away, Bob.
Natasha Kaiser from Missouri is now running against the clock as she continues to expand her lead. Watch the clock at the lower right hand of your picture. 51:93 for Natasha Kaiser.
That represents a new collegiate record, and she is barely off the American record of 51:77, set at the World Championships a week ago by Diane Dixon. Excellent time. This facility is at least as fast as the great track over in Budapest that everybody ran in just a week ago. Kaiser running a terrific time.
Let's take another look at Natasha Kaiser as she enters the second 200.
We talked about getting the lead, the importance of controlling the race. Why? Because when you're tired, it's more difficult to accelerate, particularly in the last 100 meters of a 400-meter race. Very hard to go around somebody. So if you get the lead, you've got control. And notice the arm swing, the power. See Saleem begin to fade a bit here. Kaiser, the class of the field, and she powers down the stretch. Think of everything inspirational, you youngsters out there, to get you to the finish line. Focus on it, lean on it, and smile after you've crossed it, as she did. NCAA champion and American record holder at the collegiate level.
And she's standing by now with Dwight.
Natasha, a fantastic time, 51:93. Do you think this track helped out in that time a lot?
Yes, track's extremely fast.
What did you have to do the first 200 to get out?
I was concentrating on Stephanie Saleem, who was going to take it out fast. And I was watching her go, and I thought, best bet is to go where she goes. So I followed her, then we broke the pole, and I thought, got to get the lead.
With it being a section race, it's really hard to let up at the tape, isn't it?
Yeah, I felt I was getting tighter. I was looking at the line and going, gosh, it's so far away.
Outstanding race, great time.
Thank you.
And congratulations to Natasha Kaiser with a great victory in the women's 400.